So now let's move to the next generation digital learning environment as the most influential emerging technology in education. So do you think is it possible to integrate external learning tools to your organization's LMS without only one sign-in? Is it able to have the best of both a networked learning environment and an adaptive learning model implemented in the same system? Let's see what the fourth industrial revolution offers for us. For example, in any learning management system, by adopting the next generation digital learning environment techniques or algorithm, so you can now incorporate any e-textbook to your LMS, podcast recording, group collaboration, and team activities. Also, you can add any audio or screen readers. You can also add any other tools like a smartboard, like course builder, and also quizzes, online grading, multimedia discussion boards, interactive labs in your learning management system. Let's move now to the learning analytics tool. What do you think? Why do people keep talking about big data? The idea of big data derives from almost every interaction a user has with any technology. For example, with any interaction you have in a learning management system like Moodle, for example. So you leave footprint. You perform activities, you're performing discussion forum, you post reflection, you perform an assignment. So all of these activities and assignments you perform, you leave like a data. And this data is called big data. So learning analytics is about collecting traces that learners leave behind and using those traces to improve learning. And what is the common use of learning analytics? For example, there are different models, but this is the most common models, Gartner, which developed in 2013. Here we can see this is the difficulty and this is the value. So what is these tools can work? First of all, it provides a descriptive analytics of what happened in the learning process, and then it provides a diagnostic analytics of why did it happen, and then it provides predictive analytics of what will happen next, and then it will provide prescriptive analytics. How can we make it happen? How we can improve students' learning? How we can fill in the gaps in the learning among the students, and so on. And one example of the learning analytics in practice are the University of California Compass, which is used by educators and counselors in order to support the students in increasing their learning performance. For example, this is the data extracted from the database or from the learning management system. These learning analytics tools provide reports. It will analyze that report in order to predict the actions and provide how this will be happening in order to achieve the desired outcome. And this is also another example by the University of Maryland. Developed an application called Nudge, and this is enhance the ability to support the students through tutoring or advising. If we can see from the slide here, these are the analysis of the students throughout the semester in a specific course, and what are the course skills, what are the students' skills that are required or acquired or mastered from this course, and what are the gaps that the students need to fill in and to recover and catch up among their students. And now let's move to another application of the fourth industrial revolution, which is the adaptive learning technologies. Adaptive learning is the technique is used to provide or to support personalized learning, which aims to provide customized learning paths to engage each students in a certain learning activities according to their needs and according to their learning performance. So adaptive learning system use a data-driven, and in some cases it will be non-linear based on the student's performance. One example of the adaptive learning technologies is the Newton. In Newton is where teaching methods and materials change to match each student's pace. For example, students can be set challenges through apps and websites, and they can work at their own pace. For example, this is where students can work, and according to their level, the technology in Newton itself will set their path in order to work on their own pace and to increase their learning performance in a specific skill or in specific content. This is another example which is called the Scoot Pad. The Scoot Pad is like it's have a different automation. For example, students can access this app by himself, and then the system according to his level can change or can create the learning path for the students. Or also there is a flexibility or and ability for teachers or educators to set the path for their children, and then provide scaffolding for them at any time in the learning process, and then they provide them an automatic assessment. Based on the studies, there is an evidence that the Scoot Pad is effective in increasing students' learning performance in United States by 21% in English and 7% in math. Now let's move to the personalized learning. Personalized learning is not a technology, and most people sometimes get confused between the adaptive learning technologies and personalized learning. So the adaptive learning technologies is the technology itself. However, personalized learning is the strategy that will be made by the instructor in order to support the students in increasing their learning performance and to move to be at the risk. So what is the personalization? Personalization is design and how AI technology can support personalized learning. So when AI technology is incorporated into any machine learning, so it designs a customized learning profile for each individual student and will be tailored their training materials based on the student's ability and experiences on an individual basis. So this is about the personalized learning. And personalized learning also, it's defined as an educational approach that aims to customize learning for each student's strengths, needs, skills, and interests. And now let's move to the cloud computing in practices. Cloud computing services cover a vast range of options, and nowadays it's more developed, so it can be a storage, it can be networking, processing power, through natural language processing and artificial intelligence. For example, and here is the users can work from anywhere. They don't need to be close to the servers, and here within the cloud computing there is the application, there are several platforms, there are the infrastructure, there are the communication apps, there are the content databases, and so on. So it is compiled in one place where users can access to it anytime from anywhere. So what is the value of cloud computing in education? Students, teachers, and the administration alike can access to these facilities anywhere. Also allow students access to homework wherever they are. There is an internet connection. Teacher also, they can upload learning materials at any time. Also, the administrators can easily collaborate with one another and save money on data and on data storage. And this is one example of the cloud computing, which is the Google Cloud Platforms, which has many service and also many features. For example, here it's cost effective and it's used by many users and many organizations around the world. It's incorporated AI and machine learning, and also it incorporated the big data and learning analytics, Internet of Things, and there are many features in the Google Cloud Platform. And another example of the cloud computing is the Microsoft, which is Office 365 education. So in this office, you will find all apps and all contents that are related to Microsoft within one place in cloud computing. Another application of the fourth industrial revolution, it's common among all of us, which is robotics. Robotics is a branch of the subject that deals with science and math, engineering, electrical, computer science, and others. And it's expected within the next 10 years, teaching robots will be able to read even children's face expression and maybe even their brains to analyze and adapt on how their learning is proceeding. Also, AI tutor and robots will be with the students during all the years that they are in school, and sometimes, or I can say there is a debate among educators and experts in education field, is that robot can replace teacher in the future. Personally, I don't think so. However, let's see what are the study will expect and will prove. And also it's expected that robots will get to know the students very well, better enabling them to provide inspiration, motivation, and personalized learning. Let's move now to the application of the Internet of Things in practice. Also, there are many studies, research, blogs, articles about the Internet of Things. But what Internet of Things provide us in education and how it can affect teaching and learning practices. Let's see this example as for example, the scanner maker. A scanner maker, users can quickly scan editable text from books, papers, or other documents directly into a phone. And even it can be translated into 40 languages. And even you can listen to the text while you are scanned. Let's see how this can work. Let's see how we can use the Internet of Things in Scan Maker. See, you can scan. As you can see, you can scan not only the whole book, but maybe you want only to scan just specific lines or specific texts. So this is an example of the Internet of Things. Let's move to another. So I will leave the extended reality because I will give you another recording sessions about the extended reality with its application. Let's take now the application of 3D printing in education. Also, it's 3D printing. It's maybe has emerged since 5 years, and the 3D printers work by printing objects. Instead of using ink, it uses more substantive materials, plastics, metal, rubber, and these minerals. So you scan the object or take an existing scan of an object and slice it into the layers. It can then convert into a physical object. So how can it use into application into education? For example, in biology, you can scan the parts of the heart and then print it by using 3D printing. So students can learn by using an object of the heart. And then also in the chemistry, they can print out the molecules to study it. And also they can print some parts of the machines like cars, or maybe like a motorcycle and so on. And also the art teachers also, they can scan any object and then print it by using the 3D printing. And the most effective use of 3D printing is in geography and history. So they can, for example, this is if there is a map with volcanoes sites, so they can print the map. It will show them the how the area looks like with the volcano. And also here in the history, they can print the artifacts that are used for example for war in the past, based on the past history of the country. And are the examples of the 3D printing. Let's talk now about the key trends that are driving the adoption of emerging technology in education. First of all, we need to rethink how school will work in the future, and we need to indeed to move from traditional classroom paradigm to the constructivism paradigm. And also we need to shift to deeper learning approaches. We need to combine skills of the standardized testing with soft skills such as the communication, collaboration, self-directed learning, self-regulation, and so on. And also we need to increase collaborative learning approaches. So we need to exchange ideas, to learn from each other. And we need to focus on students as educators more as consumers. And also we need to increase the use of blended learning and to think out of the box and to be innovative in designing our curriculum. Also the rise of STEAM, which is the science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics curriculum. We need to focus or to move from focusing on teaching the system as a subject to teaching is at skills. So our new generation, our students, our children need to have the STEM skills more than teaching them as a subject. And there is a call to action. So individuals must be trained to have the learning agility, the ability to learn, ability to adapt in quick cycles throughout their entire life. So today's students will be practicing mostly microcycles. So maybe in the future, they should be prepared to have 10 or 12 different careers during their working lives. So now, after we have learned about the application of the fourth industrial revolution, in the discussion forum, please post your answer or your reflection from your point of view. What do you think the technology holds the most promise to positively impact teaching and learning over the next 3 years? Is it machine learning? Is it artificial intelligence? Or maybe you think it's social media, or maybe 3D printing, or learning analytics, assistive technology, virtual reality, or adaptive learning, or maybe personalized learning, and what other technology that we have studied through this presentation. So please post your reflection in the discussion forum. Feel free to use any kind of technology to post your reflection. Maybe you think to use the infographic or mind map, or maybe just text and so on. So you are free to post your reflection in any way with using any kind of technology. So this is the presentation for today's class. I hope it's informative and useful.